Hey guys, it's Lauren. Welcome back to Lauren's Book Corner. This has been a day trying to get this video filmed. I filmed my haul and then my my dog Coco has been going nuts. He is a yapper. He's a yapper. He loves to let his little bark be heard. It's not a very little bark either. He's a small dog, but he makes a very loud noise. And anytime he hears people outside, it could be our neighbors who he knows and has seen many times, he will bark. He will just bark. That is, yeah, we're working on it. Anyway, I'm here to do my April wrap up. So I technically only read 7 books in April, but I wrote it down in my journal as 8 because I finished one on May 1st. So I'm only going to show you the 7 that I technically finished in April. And hopefully I'll remember to show you the last one that I finished because I read most of it in April and then I finished it on May 1st. So I didn't know where to count it. We'll just say it's a May book. Anywho, let's dive into all the books I read. I had a really good reading month. I had a lot of 5 stars in April. I think most of the books I read, actually, all of them but one, were 5 stars. I had a really, really good reading month. So, first up, we have the only one I don't own a physical copy of, and that is Animorphs by K.A. Applegate. This is the first book. It's the Invasions. And I apologize for the glare, but that's what it looks like. This is not the cool cover. I like the old school covers. I guess this is kind of an older cover, but I think the cover is really creepy. I'm not going to lie. It looks really, really creepy. This was totally inspired by Storm from Storm Reads. Thank you so much for recommending this because honestly, I loved this book. I gave it 4 stars. I didn't give it 5 just because it is a setup book to the series, but I could see myself continuing on in this series, and I don't often. My tablet's making noise. I feel like I don't often connect with middle grade books, like where I can't stop listening. I have a few series that I have found that are middle grade. I don't read a ton of middle grade other than read alouds for my kids. Um, there's not too many where it felt like that compulsive reading, like you just want to find out what's going to happen next. Usually they're just kind of cozy stories, I feel like, at least the ones that I've read. I'm making a generalization. I am not saying that middle grade books are not action packed. I'm just saying the ones I typically read are not action packed. There we go. Okay. But this one was super fun. And part of the reason I picked this up was because Storm made it sound really interesting. And 2, I thought it might be a series that my son would like because he likes things like Goosebumps and stuff that has like kind of creepy vibes to it. And I do apologize if you see flies. It is that time of year. We live near farms. And I listened to this on audio. I really liked it. Actually, I think my library's Hoopla has the whole series on there. At least most of it. So I may have to pick up book 2. But this is a middle grade sci-fi with like a little bit of creepy elements to it. I don't know if I would call it a horror. It's more of just like a sci-fi adventure, but there is a little bit of a creepiness to it. And if you like things like, my husband and I always joke about like kids on bikes saving the world, like think the kids from It or Stranger Things or stuff like that. It's a group of kids that are faced with this crazy big obstacle that they are the like last resort to save the world, basically. And so it's got that really great banter between these friends. It's a group of friends, and it's just really fun. So I'm not doing a very good job of explaining what it's about. But basically, these kids are walking home one night and they see a spaceship crash. And the alien on this spaceship is a friendly alien, but he warns the kids that the Earth is under attack from this invasive alien race that's really yucky, okay? And they basically like inhabit people and take over their bodies. And so he is dying, and he is, because he was injured from the crash, and so he passes on this power or alien tech, basically. It's not really considered like a mystical thing, it's more of like a technology. So he gives this tech to the kids to where if they touch any type of animal, that they get this like power that they can morph, basically. And I don't want to get too much more into it because I don't want to give anything away, but I hope I'm not giving too much away. I feel like that's kind of the big, if you look at the cover, you know, there's like morph powers involved. Um, but I was really impressed with like how the pacing of the story and just the character development between the kids, their friendships. There's a little bit of like maybe a romance, not you know, like puppy love type of romance, I feel like. Um, but it's high stakes. Like these kids are faced with really intense problems and they're trying to figure it out, and it's really cool. So I had a good time. I gave it 4 stars. Um, and I think my son would probably really enjoy it as well. I actually told my husband I think he would enjoy them too. Because he likes like that adventure type stories. Then I also, for Amish in April, I didn't get to read a technical Amish romance because the 2 prompts for Amish in April were an Amish themed mystery and then an Amish themed romance. But I feel like this could kind of count for both. I read A Salted Caramel by Amanda Flower. This was my very first Amanda Flower book, and it sure will not be my last because I rated this 5 stars. I loved this. It was so cute. It's the first book in the Amish Candy Shop Mysteries. And in this one, we follow Bailey, who is a chocolatier, and she is going to visit her grandparents who are Amish. Bailey is not Amish, but her grandparents are, because they run a candy shop and her grandfather is having some pretty severe health problems. And so she's going home to help them out. And when she gets there, of course, somebody is murdered. And Bailey is our prime suspect because the murder takes place in her grandparents' candy shop. There's a little bit of a romance between Bailey and one of the town characters. I won't say who. I don't want to give any spoilers, but I loved this. It was just so cozy. It was funny. It was like heartwarming, and it actually did make me cry because there is some sad stuff in this one. Um, but it was just really good. I cannot wait to read more. In fact, I may have bought the rest of the series because I have a problem. I even got, I even picked up the little novellas because I have a problem. But yeah, I want to read the rest of these, and I also want to read the spin-off, what is it, the Matchmaker series. I think I will like that one too. So that was really good. And then I also read, I think I'm kind of going in order of how I read these. I also read The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. I'm working my way through Throne of Glass this year. I'd love to read all of her books this year because the new ACOTAR books are coming out. But I'm starting here, and I listened to this on audio. It is narrated by, and now I'm going to forget her name. Yeah, it's gone. I forgot. I love the narrator for these. I wish I could remember her name, and I can't use my phone. I could look it up on my tablet, but I will try to put it in the description box if I can. But the narrations of these are really good. The audiobooks are good. This is prequel novellas, so this actually takes place before the first book in the Throne of Glass series, and I personally would recommend reading this first. I know some people say to wait and read it after like book 2 or 3, but I feel like this is a really good introduction to Selena, our main character. We get to see what her life was like before we meet her in book 1. It really adds to her depth of a character because she can be a little annoying in book 1. I'm not gonna lie. But this just made me love her more. It made me understand her more and what she's been through. It also adds more emotional damage because she goes through a lot. And it's 4 novellas. You do want to read them in order though, because they do connect in, like it's an overarching story. But yeah, really good. 5 stars. Loved it. And then I finished out the Letters of Enchantment duology. I did read, I didn't show you guys my March books, but I did read Divine Rivals in March, and I loved it. I think, was it March? Or was it February? I don't remember if I told you guys about the fact that I read that or not. Um, but I loved it. Rebecca Ross is now like one of my auto-buy authors. I love her writing. I get the hype. I understand why people like her. If you want books with yearning, beautiful writing, and beautiful romance, I mean, she gets romance. She gets what it means to love somebody and to yearn for somebody and to selflessly love somebody. These stories are so beautiful. And I feel like um, if you're somebody who's not super into fantasy, but you've kind of thought about trying her books, she's a really good place to start for romantasy. This duology is closed door. There's one or two moments where you know something's happening, but it does not go into any detail at all. Um, it's very PG, in my opinion. Um, but she just writes whimsical. It's a little bit of fantasy, but not much. It's mostly just um, beautiful storytelling, romance. I don't know. I'm doing it. I have no words. That's how good it is. I have no words. I just love this. So I'm not telling you what it's about either, and that's not helpful. Let's take it back. This duology is about two reporters. Okay, we're following Iris and Roman, and they are both living during a time where I guess in this world there are gods, and these gods are battling, and people are basically stuck in this big war. It kind of reads like you're in World War One. That's what it reminded me of. Even like the way they're dressing and like the weaponry and things that they're using, it just reminds me of World War One because they had like trenches and stuff like that. And I really believe that Iris and Roman are very Anne and Gilbert coded. So if you are an Anne of Green Gables fan and you love Anne and Gilbert, they totally remind me of Anne and Gilbert. Iris is very feisty. Roman is he just doesn't give up on Iris. She kind of pushes him away a lot, and their romance is just really cute. But basically, the magical part of this is that they're able to send each other letters through a wardrobe door because of magical typewriters. So that's really the fantasy element to it. There's little splashes of like magic things that happen, but it's mainly just a beautiful love story. So I would highly recommend these, and I think they're very YA appropriate, in my opinion. And then because I didn't want to leave that world and her writing, I right away picked up Wild Reverence. This book broke my heart and then healed my heart, and I cried and I laughed. This is so good. Like, I haven't read a book this good in a very long time. I mean, I've read good books, don't get me wrong, but this has the potential to be like, it reads like almost like a classic, but not. It's just beautiful. Her writing style is so well done. The way she describes emotions and scenery and just how people care for one another, it's just so well done. This is about a god who falls in love, a god who's a female who falls in love with a mortal man, and it's their love story. It's so good. There's really not much else I can say because I don't want to give any spoilers. This one definitely reads a little more adult. It's a little more intense. The things that happen to some of our characters are hard to read about at times, and so I don't think I would recommend this for younger readers. I think it's properly marketed as an adult read. It's still not a spicy book. This has romance. There is things that happen when two people love each other, but it's described in a very tasteful way, and it's not vulgar in any way. It's just beautifully written. The whole book is just phenomenal. 5 stars, 6 stars. Rebecca Ross is, if you can't tell by my excitement, I just love her writing and I can't wait to read more from her. I want to read her whole backlist because you know when you read a book and you just want to hug it when you're done? Like, that's how I feel about her books. They're just that good. Anyway. Sorry. This is why I have a booktube channel, because I don't have anyone to gush to about this other than my sister, but she's busy and you guys, you know, you're here and you like books too, and I just get really excited about them. And then another author that I absolutely discovered that I love is Stephanie Garber. So I've been in a romantasy kick again. Thank you, Roxy. She kind of got me. Her and Kelsey, they're talking about their romantasy books, and then it just got me in the mood to read some romantasy. And actually, I think Book Princess Sarah is also reading Throne of Glass, and she's been talking about it too, so I've just gotten myself excited to read romantasy. So these are the next 2 books in the Caraval trilogy. I read Caraval twice. Like, I think I read it last year. I may have read it, might be 2 years now since I've read it, but I knew what happened. I just never continued on with the series. So I ended up picking up Legendary, which is book 2. And I did listen to this on audio. I borrowed the audiobook from Libby. It's narrated by Rebecca Soler, who I love. I love her audio narration. She does a really, really good job. And I can't really tell you too much about what this is about just because it's the second book in a series. But if you haven't read Caraval and you like whimsical, kind of Tim Burton-y fantasy, then you would probably really like this series. It has a lot of kind of Alice in Wonderland meets like a circusy theme almost. I don't know if I'm not doing the best job, but if you've ever seen the Disney version of Alice in Wonderland that Tim Burton did with like the real like live action version, okay? I don't know why I'm picturing that in my head when I'm reading this. It's not an Alice in Wonderland retelling at all. It's not a Portal Fantasy or anything like that, but it just has that really cool whimsical feel to it. But it's not light and fluffy either. It's got some edginess to it. We do have some like darker elements to this fantasy. But basically it's about 2 sisters who get invited to go to Caraval, which is this game that is held only every so often, and they both have always wanted to go and participate in this game because if you win the game, there's like, I think you get like a wish at the end or something like that, and they are both living with their very unkind, very controlling father, and they want to escape. And so they're kind of hoping that if they sneak off to this game and they win the game, that they can wish, you know, that they can get away from their father or something like that. It's so good. I'm not doing it justice. It's a lot of fun. It's got games and trials. There's like, Stephanie loves to talk about like the dresses that the girls wear, and there's like magical dresses and like crazy quirky characters. There's forgotten lore, there's mystery, there's romance. It's so good. And the romance is always pretty I would say it's YA. It's older end of YA. I wouldn't give this to a 12-year-old to read, if I'm being honest. I would say like 16, 17, 18 year olds more so. I think our main characters are 16 or 17. It's closed door. There is no open door scenes. But it's just a little bit more kissy sometimes than some other YA books that I've read. But yeah, I loved it. Legendary was at 5 stars. And then, of course, I finished off with Finale. This was probably my favorite out of the 3 books. They're all excellent. But this one, I was like, I mean, they were both 5 stars. All 3 of them are 5 stars. But this one was so good because we get more POVs in this one. In the first book, Caraval, you mainly follow Scarlet's point of view, who is the older sister. And then in book 2, you mainly follow Donatella, who's the younger sister. In this one, we get both Scarlet and Donatella's point of view. And that's one of the things I loved so much about this series, too, is just the relationship between the two sisters. Not just the romance, but it's a very strong, like, family matters type of message that comes through in this. And something I found really cool that I think, I don't know if this was her intention, but as a parent, I'm always thinking when I'm reading books, like, how would I feel about giving this book to my kid at a certain age or whatever? And Stephanie Garber really explores in these books what it means to truly love somebody, what it means to selflessly love someone. And she does such a good job, like, talking about that without it coming across like this preachy, like shoving a lesson down your throat. It's just beautifully executed. I love how she makes her characters, because we're inside their thoughts. She really has her characters like thinking and learning and growing as the story progresses, but it doesn't come across as like a lesson. It's just, I don't know, it's beautifully done. And um even talking about the difference between like attraction and true love and what the difference is, I don't know, she did a really good job with that. And these are books like I would be excited to give to my teenage daughter and be like, oh, you're gonna have so much fun reading these. So yeah, I really love finding authors like that. Same with Rebecca Ross. I feel very good about both of their storytelling, and I'm just excited. Anyway, okay, that's everything. Yes, that's all the books I read. Okay, I gushed. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I just love to talk about books. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know what you read in April. Did you have a good reading month? I hope you did. What was your favorite book you read in April? If you can pick just one. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.